An EV that costs 20 to 30 lakh rupees. Looks crazy, performs crazy, but should you really buy it in 2026? The Mahindra BE6 was launched in 2024 and it had quite a few interesting things. First, obviously, the looks. Coupe design, futuristic look, something that looks totally different on the Indian roads. Super radical looks, either I love it or I hate it. Well, I've lived with this car for almost 6 months, and this is my honest opinion on whether you should get it or not. The moment you get inside, you feel the robustness in the doors, in the car. You feel so secure the moment you get inside. You get dual 12.3-inch screens, Maya technology integrated 5G connectivity, every top spec you can ask for in a car as of today. Super cool design throughout the car. You get these roof mounted controls, this airplane like lever. You get a flat floor because it's an EV, with the floor being slightly risen because the battery is situated at the bottom of the car. Super unique steering wheel design. Everything about this car is different. You cannot find any other car in the Indian market that has a feel similar to this. I'm not talking about the budget. Stretch the budget as much as you want. But looks this radical, they're pretty hard to find. But looks are not the only reason you'll buy a car, right? So let's get driving and I'll tell you my honest review on whether you should get it or not. Hi guys, welcome back to Automobile Infos. When anybody is buying a car, the most asked question is the car good? Well, you can't really say good, but it depends upon what you need and what you are expecting from a car. If you want a family car, if you are someone who goes on long drives frequently, then I would not recommend the BE6. Why? Because the rear seats are not as comfortable, the window size is small. Range anxiety can also be there because EV infrastructure in India is not that good yet. But if you're someone who's looking for a driver-oriented car who wants to have fun with the car like this, I can honestly say that this is one of the best cars you can get under 30 lakhs in the Indian market. The driving feel, the stability, the steering feedback, the acceleration, everything about this car is absolutely awesome. Yes, there have been some issues with the suspension, but they are being tuned with the software updates and I do expect them to get better. If you're looking for a car that is bug-free, that doesn't have glitches, then I wouldn't recommend this either. Because with Indian makers, you do know that there are some niggles expected, especially with the first lots. Now that this car has been selling for over a year, the basics have been sorted. But there are still some software issues. Screen lagging, some lights not working, music system not working, speakers giving errors, or anything. There have been multiple software errors all across. And I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about all the other owners. It's up to your luck whether your car is absolutely perfect when it reaches you, but honestly, I wouldn't expect any Indian car to be niggle free the first day I get it. And I knew it when I was buying this car that it wasn't going to be perfect from day one. My AC was not working, the bass cut issue in the speakers is still there, the suspension is also unpredictable, sometimes it's superb and sometimes it feels as if the suspension is non-existent. But honestly, when you start driving this car, you actually tend to forget all those niggles. For me, I personally love driving it and I also love its looks, and that was enough for me to buy this car. If you want a comfortable car that fits your whole family, I wouldn't recommend this simply because the floor is high. It has a coupe design, so the space in the rear seats is not that good. If you're someone who's tall or there are tall people in your family, well, it's not the one to go for. Simply because of the way this was made, not because something's wrong with it. About the range, well, Mahindra claims 683 kilometers with the bigger battery pack, and I do have the 79 kilowatt hour. But in the real world, you do not get that much range. Honestly, anything between 400 to 500 is what you can expect. And now, when the summers are so harsh, the range has dropped drastically. I was getting close to 500 kilometers before this, but now it's close to 400. So the range is also dependent on the weather, on the way you drive. It's not consistent. If you're someone who likes to go on adventures, then go for it. Of course, people do trips to Leh Ladakh in an EV. But if you're someone who likes to play it safe, then an EV is simply not for you because the infrastructure is not that developed yet. The fault is not the car, the fault is the infrastructure. There are thousands of chargers listed on each app, but about 50% of them work. Sometimes there's a power outage, sometimes the charger is faulty, sometimes the gun is not working. It's not about the car. These dual 12.3-inch screens, well, they have more features than you can imagine. I'm not talking about this segment, I'm talking even 2 segments above. The cars that are double the price of this do not have some of the features that the BE6 offers. You name it, you have it. Auto parking, immersive 3D sound, blind spot monitor, level 2 plus ADAS, a moonroof with ambient light. I mean, which other brand is offering that? No one. Do I regret buying the BE6? Well, not at all, because I knew what I was going for. I did proper research. I didn't have unjustified high expectations. I wasn't expecting a family car when I was buying a Coupe SUV. So let's just look at it simply. What are the pros and what are the cons? The pros are obviously the driving feel, the looks, the features, the way this car behaves when you're driving it. And the cons would be that it's not super comfortable. Yes, it's super stable at high speeds, you can go fast around the corners, but it's not the most comfortable car I've sat in based on the current suspension setup that I have. Suspension has improved with the 019 OTA and I do expect it to get better when the custom mode arrives, but it has not happened yet and I can't comment on it. One con is that the car is inconsistent. It is very inconsistent and Mahindra's software team is absolutely clueless. They don't have a clue as to when your car will get the next software update. They do not know which cars are getting it, why they are getting it, and what each update changes. The car recently got the 019 OTA, but it was up to the owners to figure out what was new with it. There were no patch notes, no update logs, nothing. If I have any one advice to Mahindra, it would be that they actually know what they're providing with the software update and they actually let the owners know what's going to happen to their car. Con would be the service center experience. As for me, I'm pretty sorted. The service center that I usually go to is really nice. The guy has really good knowledge of the car. But many service centers all across India still do not have proper training as to what is done in the Mahindra EVs. You ask them any question and they are pretty clueless as to how it will be resolved or how it will be improved. All in all, if you're looking for something that's unique, something that makes you smile the moment you start driving, you can go for this eyes closed. But if you're someone who wants a niggle-free car, who wants something super comfortable, who isn't ready to compromise on a few little things here and there, well, then I would recommend that you do not go for this. Because this is a car that makes you think about the future. It makes you think different. This is not perfect, I know, but there's a lot to love about it if you really get to know it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, then please comment them down below. I'll be really happy to answer them. Subscribe to Automobile Infos for more such content. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, drive safe and have a happy journey.